In the last video, we spoke about why India needs more public Wi-Fi in the first place. And unfortunately, even with its huge market potential, we're just at about 1 lakh hotspots for the entire Indian population. But I can't be the only one to have recognized this gap, right? Well, obviously. In fact, the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, or TRAI, had envisioned this potentially path-breaking public Wi-Fi infrastructure. And this was close to 3 years ago. Not only was it aimed at increasing the number of hotspots to maximize internet coverage, but also to remove this painstaking and recurring OTP registration every time you go from one Wi-Fi hotspot over to another. This technology is termed the Wifi Access Network Interface, also known as WANI. So let's try and understand how it works, and more importantly, what happened to it. So why is WANI unique? Well, it has the ability to transform the telecom sector similar to how the United Payments Interface, or UPI, transformed the way we make payments today. I'm sure most of us have used some sort of application based on the UPI, be it Google Pay, Bheem, or even PhonePe. This type of technology basically de-linked payments from banking. That is, through one interface, we could make transactions no matter which bank we're registered in. This sort of interoperability is at the heart of WANI. What it means is that through WANI, you wouldn't have to re-authenticate or re-enter your OTP every time you go from one Wi-Fi hotspot in one metro station to another in some other location. Therefore, what it gives us is seamless internet access. What's more is that this sort of network or infrastructure can be leveraged to create novel standards for the Internet of Things, or IoT. Now let's talk about the social and economic implications of such a technology. TRAI's plan was to set up 10 million hotspots by 2022. But how? Essentially, they wanted entities to buy bandwidth, or loosely access to the internet, from internet service providers and ISPs and telecom services. This bandwidth would then be resold to a larger network of vendors. It could be your local department store or chaiwala or even your barber. As Pratap Vikram Singh, who wrote about this in detail for the Ken, puts it, this could effectively turn small businesses into public Wi-Fi hotspots. Brilliant, right? But that's also where the problem begins. Essentially, the telecom sector in India is highly regulated. And if we plan on helping our local kirana stores become public Wi-Fi hotspots, it would be almost impossible for them to adhere to the same amount of regulations. To combat this issue, TRAI recommended that these aggregators and distributors need not adhere to the same licensing norms as ISPs and telecom services. But to no one's surprise, the internet service providers and telecom companies weren't really happy with this idea. In fact, they believed that this could alter the competition in the market. And unfortunately, even the Department of Telecommunications rejected this idea. And instead, they recommended extending the licensing norms to public Wi-Fi providers as well. As of June 2020, TRAI in turn rejected the DOT's proposal. And as it currently stands, the battle still continues. Who knows if we'll ever actually get to see TRAI's WANI in action. But its ability to disrupt the market and our lives is quite apparent. Just how much? Well, TV Ramchandran, the president of the Broadband India Forum, in his article for the Financial Express, stated that TRAI's WANI recommendation should be seized without further delay, and architecture should be implemented to unleash the Telecom Revolution 2.0. Until then, I guess we'll really never find the answer to our question. Where is India's public Wi-Fi?